Hi. But- Hi. Welcome back to the Potsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name. Today, we are starting the first part of the dissertation of the 19th chapter of the Potsmoker's Bible, which is the 16th chapter of the book of Zion. The title of the chapter is They That Hate Me, and it begins with Psalms 94, 3-6, which is Zion 16, 1-4. Lord, how long shall the wicked triumph? How long shall they utter and speak hard things, and all the workers of iniquity boast themselves? They break in pieces thy people, O Lord, and afflict thine heritage. They slay the widow and the stranger, and murder the fatherless. Psalms 94, 3-6 asks the question, how long? How long will this injustice go on? How long will the wicked win? How long will their lives prevail? How long will they boast of their iniquities? This is the question asked. For the past 80 years, the American government has perpetuated a lie called drug abuse, using the media to spread lies about the effects of drugs on the individuals and society. The state has robbed America while oppressing its poorest people, and all of it based on a lie. Marijuana was the first drug to be portrayed as evil in the media at the direction of the government. Hollywood has also been used to direct public opinion. This media blitz created a panic that allowed the federal government to enlist the state authorities to enact laws to protect, so to speak, the public from a threat that didn't exist. Marijuana does not create violent behavior. That was a bold-faced lie. Once the marijuana mania was established, the government added other drugs to the prohibition, creating a demand for a drug that had never been abused before its appearance as an illegal drug. The war on drugs is a sham. It was created to provide an illicit market for drugs they produced and then introduced through legislation. Case in point, LSD. LSD, or acid, as my people call it, was developed by the United States Army to create super soldiers. That didn't work. So, they leaked it into the public domain. Instant success as a psychedelic drug. Oh, and by the way, thanks. LSD can also help cure emotional trauma. Love that stuff. Plan to use it to heal my own people and myself of whatever pain I have that remains. That was caused by the society that created it. The wicked government created an entire governmental agency to implement its evil game of druggies versus pigs. So far, the pigs have called all the shots. They have all of the rules. They make all of the rules. They run the game. But pride comes before the fall. And the government has long boasted of their evil intentions to wipe out every drug user ever born. The DEA is an insidious agency used to play a game with the lives of the American people. The totality of the oppression has left my people isolated from society and from each other. Because of the tactics used by the police, my people are forced to keep their associations local and fragmented. No one knows who to trust until they get busted. This has helped keep us from organizing. But that tactic is failing. The legalization of marijuana has broken the hold that the states have over my people. It is the horrific nature of this war that will bring about its end. Because it's not just the hippies now, it's the elderly and the common non drug user that is being targeted by the government and the pharmaceuticals that create the drugs. The greed of these two elements have led them to target the weakest members of society, the elderly and the injured. The state and the drug dealers, we call big pharmacy, have become so greedy that they sell sick people dangerous and highly addictive drugs that are priced so outrageously that people have to choose between their bills and their medications. How dare you? You will pay for what you are doing to the elderly. For this alone, I call you evil. But the government and the pharmaceutical corporations, I will not mourn your passing. In fact, I will dance on your graves. This war now includes opioids. These drugs, known to be highly addictive, they should have never been marketed. There must have been a way to make these drugs safer prior to their sale. These drugs affect normal law-abiding citizens who are subject, who are not subject to any of the other drug laws. Why create addictions from honest citizens whose only crime was to be in pain? Now, these good people are branded drug users and are oppressed too. I welcome all victims of the opioid epidemic into Zion. You are my victims. You are victims too. The drug war has fragmented society. The family as we know it barely exists today. There are more single parent households than ever before. There are said to be 13.6 million single parents raising 21 million children in America this year, 2019. I blame the war on drugs. Since 1939, millions of Americans have lost their family unit because of incarceration. This, along with the stress of poverty, racism, economic oppression, lack of education, all of which is exacerbated by the prohibitions. America has systematically destroyed the family unit as we know it. This oppression targeted the poor. The wealthy had no desire to try a drug that was cheap, easy to find, and said to make you feel so good that it didn't matter how bad your life was. The rich didn't need or want the escape from poverty. Drugs are the only thing we have to counter the hell we endure every day. The war also targets the strangers who are just passing through. These poor people are hit the hardest of all, as we've already discussed. If you happen to be arrested on the road, you have to pay extra to get out. You have to return numerous times to go to court, and you have to pay to have your case moved to your home state. Added to this is the murder of the innocents by the police. Black Lives Matter. Poor Lives Matter. Zionite Lives Matter. Me Too matters. We all matter. But the police don't act that way. They kill us. Then they say they're sorry, or they justify it to themselves. But there is no justification for a cop to have a gun. Deadly force is not acceptable, nor lethal weapons. Only non-lethal weapons should be allowed to be carried by the police. Guns kill people. People who use guns murder people. And murder is murder. A badge does not absolve you of murder. An army uniform neither absolves you of murder. You murdered them with guns. You murdered them with pills. You murdered them with poverty. And you murdered them with neglect. You murdered them with denial of their most basic of needs. You murdered the young. You murdered the old. You murdered the suicides who pulled your triggers for themselves. You, the governing bodies of this planet, are nothing but ignorant, self-righteous fools who are thieves and thugs, destroying society through your selfish, short-sighted, greedy ways and your gross abuse of power. Psalms 69:4, Zion 16:5. They that hate me without a cause are more than the hairs of my head. They that would destroy me, being my enemy wrongfully, are mighty. Then I restore that which I took not away. This passage tells us that we are a minority. Those who believe the lies far outnumber us. It is said that 3 out of 5 don't use drugs. If that is so, that's the 2/3 ratio of Isaiah, and that's about right. We are outnumbered, but that doesn't mean that we're not justified. The truth has no numbers. The fact that I'm a good person belies the false claim that I'm a threat to society. The lies told to the public by the state, through the media and Hollywood, makes the entire premise for the prohibition false. Drugs are abused, but drugs do not threaten society. That's the premise for the need to wage the war. And it's not true. No matter how many believe the lie, it's still a lie. The abuse of power is so great that the victims must pay fines to the state to reimburse the court for costs of their incarceration, probation, court. We get robbed. Our children brainwashed against us. We have to go to prison to be brainwashed in rehabs. The state gets to dictate our every move, and we get to pay them to do it too. So I'm going to stop there for this session. Next time, we will take up with Psalms 143:3. So, until then, may the great watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May you always be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light. May you always be happy and high. Know that I love you. I'm here to champion your cause. I'll say later now, because I will never say goodbye.